Okay. Welcome back. For those that don't know, I'm doing 100 video uploads in 100 days. The reason for that is I'm tracking my transformation to go from X to Y to Z. We are tracking my emotional, mental, spiritual, physical metrics to try and see if what happens if I dedicate myself to one thing for 100 days. In this case, it's acting. Right now we're at day 27, so if you're joining now, welcome. Weird place to start. But that's cool. Where am I at today at the moment? So let's check in. And then my mind goes blank. Today was a bit of a fuck around. I had some bad news come up, and I let that occupy my headspace, and which drove me from. Okay, it didn't drive me from. I used that bad news as an excuse to not follow my schedule that I'd written out for myself. I had today scheduled down to the minute, and I barely stuck with it. I did like 20% of my schedule today. Wasted a lot of time occupying myself with negative thoughts about this thing that had come into my life. Of which, at this point, by the way, that issue has been resolved, and it's fine. So I let something that was going to resolve itself derail me. I used it to derail myself. Let's be. I think that's something really important to point out, is that things aren't affecting me. I have agency. And if someone sends me a message that I don't like, I'm not going to use that as an excuse and go, oh, it knocked me off my course. Let's have a little bit more agency than that. Let's own up to it and say, I use that as an excuse not to make the main thing the main thing. Which isn't good. I did go to the gym today, which is great. Working legs now. I think for the first time in my life. Shut the fuck up. Let's rephrase it. I'm not working legs for the first time in my life. I'm saying for the first time in my life, when I am working legs, there's no reluctance about it. I don't get to the gym and I'm like, oh, legs. Like, I actually am pretty stoked about it. I'm loving the ease with which I can squat. I'm loving the power that I feel that my legs and my glutes hold. And I feel more functionally capable. One of the goals that I have is in September, I will be competing in High Rocks. First time ever, as well as doing the True Grit event in October, of which I've done once before, and I participated in the elite division, which was my first ever time, and I did pretty well. I came 14th out of 45 in the pro division, so I'm pretty happy with that. And my training was really off. I didn't know what to expect. Now that I know what to expect with True Grit this time around, we should do better than 14th. Maybe, I'm hoping for top 10 in the event overall, of which there's like, I don't know, bloody 2,000 so people participating. So that'll be pretty cool. However, I would say things are going well on the general strength side, like the lifting weights, etc., like wall balls, squats, jumps, everything like that's doing pretty well. I actually think the thing that's going to nip me in the butt is running. Last time when I was training for True Grit, when I did the pro division, I just ran. That's all I did. I just ran 10 kilometers a day, and every single day. That's all I did, and I got very good at running. Of which, for me, this time around, the focus has been much more on leg strength overall, which isn't translating to running speed. And yes, there's obstacles, but I don't think people realize just how much, how much of the percentage of the entire event is running. So if your running's not good, it doesn't fucking matter how good you are in other events, in other doing the obstacles. You could be the best at doing the obstacles, but if you suck at running, you're still not going to place well. Why am I talking about this? I think it's because I know this. I want to take a holistic approach to everything. The way you do something is the way you do everything. So if I am neglecting something, or if I'm just training the parts of myself that are fun to train, then when it comes time to perform, i.e. when I'm acting, when I perform, it's going to be very dysfunctional. And it's not going to make sense. And you'll look good in a little bits of areas, and in other areas you won't know what the fuck you're doing. You're gonna suffer. You're gonna not do very well at all. And for those watching, they're gonna go, "Oh, what?" Now, for those that don't know, I am looking to secure agency come the latter half of this year, Q3, Q4, around the kind of switch over between that area of the year. And if that's the reaction, if agents are watching me perform and they're sitting watching me go, what? That's not going to go well. I need to be balancing myself out and training all areas of my life. Acting is interesting because if you're an accountant, if you're if you're a bodybuilder, for example, when you're having your downtime, actually I guess bodybuilder doesn't really, maybe not bodybuilding, because they do that. This will make sense in a second. When an accountant gets home, they stop accounting for things. When HR representative gets home, they stop the HRing. They stop resourcing humans. Whereas for an actor, like, you are the product, meaning you need to keep your product, you, in the best condition possible, always ready for use. Or in this regard, the product being used. And how is it meant to be used? It's meant to be used to play. So in my private life, when I'm not on stage, I need to be doing whatever it is that I need to do to ensure that I am free and able to play, and there's not judgment coming in on that play. Because if it is, it'll be there in performance, and if I'm judging my performance, I'm not in it, and if I'm not in it, then the audience isn't going to be in there for the ride, and everyone's wasting their time. Theatre, as of this moment, is dying. And it is our responsibility to ensure that it lives on. And I think theatre is incredibly important. And part of me thinks the reason it's dying, particularly like in Australia, is that the theatre's shit. It's really bad. I do think the standards dropped. I've gone to the US. I've gone to Broadway in the US, and I watched them there, and they blew me out of the water. Now, why can't we do that here? Like, what's stopping us? And I'm not talking about the production value side of it. I'm talking about the performance side, the side that just all it needs is this person to deliver. I myself, as of this moment, currently, have been part of the problem. But I don't wish to be. So I'm going to try and figure it out. How do I bring Broadway to Perth? World-class West End acting to Perth. Because people limit themselves. They think, especially in Australia, they go like, "Oh, like it's not international. It's just Australia." Especially, and man, WA is really bad at it. WA is really bad. And they think, like we think, because we're small and we're isolated, it's Perth culture. Dude, there are some dreams in Perth. and they're all flying out of here. Why can't Perth be great? Why can't Perth be the acting capital of the world? It is possible. But to do that, we have to live and breathe our craft. And at the moment, I'm not doing that. So that's what this series is about. Can I live and breathe the craft for 100 days? I'll leave it there. That's my check-in. Bit of a rant. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. For those that don't know, for the next 6 days, I am not allowed to read anything. I'm not allowed to read anything or consume any kind of media. It's a task set by my acting school to kind of enforce a week for us to be alone with our thoughts. And I, as you can see, I've just ranted. So the thoughts are coming, and you're gonna get them because I don't talk to a lot of other people. So yeah, that's it. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Ciao.